18.1. That's the highest Z-score BuzzPulse system has ever produced on a single equity. 11 signals all pointing the same direction at the same time, and the stock is down 26% in 24 hours. The signal and the price are telling two different stories, and we're here to figure out which one is lying. Now, I'm not a trader. I've got an MBA in finance from Pepperdine, and I used to have a Series 7. I've never run a mutual fund, but a few years ago, I got curious whether AI could find market signals before the crowd did. I had an AI build me a system to test that, and you're watching me run it in public every weekday morning on a live market. Some signals work and some don't. The proof is on the table either way. Welcome to Invest AI Savvy, where AI powers smart investing. My name's Ken Carpenter, and today is Monday, May 18th, 2026. The name is Blaze Holdings, ticker BZAI, a small cap AI infrastructure company. 241 employees, $186 million market capitalization. Signal price $1.31, sitting 1 penny above its 52-week low. Now, here's what happened to the chart. 3 weeks ago, BZAI was trading near 230. Then on May 4th, it announced a $35 million equity offering. For a company with a market capitalization under $200 million, that is massive dilution. Existing shareholders just had their ownership cut, and the chart has been bleeding down ever since, a slow grind from 220 down to $1.28 on Friday. So the price collapse isn't a mystery. It's dilution, and dilution is doing exactly what dilution does. The question is whether the system saw anything underneath that. Now, here's what a Z-score of 18.1 actually means. Picture the BuzzPulse system as a filter with 5 screens stacked on top of each other. Now, the screen 1 looks at over hundreds of stocks and shows which ones people are suddenly talking about online a lot more than usual. Now, that cuts the list down. And screen 2 of those screened out stocks, show me the ones where the jump in chatter is not just high, but it's really weird high. Now, way more than any specific stock normally gets discussed. That cuts the list further. Now, screen 3, show me the ones where the options traders, the guys that bet on which way a stock will move, are also looking at. Now, that gives you a smaller list too. Now, screen 4 of those, show me the ones where the tone of the chatter or the sentiment matches the direction of the bet. People aren't just talking, but they're talking bullish. And that makes the size of the group smaller even still. Now, screen 5, finally, show me the ones where a lot of traders are betting the stock will go down. Because if the stock starts going up instead, those traders are forced to buy to cover their losing bets, which pushes the price up even faster. That's called a short squeeze. Now, after all 5 screens, the list is very tiny. BZAI is sitting at the top of it with 11 different signals all lining up at once. A Z-score of 18 is the system's way of saying this is not normal. This is the rarest kind of setup it knows how to find. Short interest is 11% of the float. Options implied volatility rank is 0%, meaning the options market is asleep while the social buzz is at historic highs. That gap is the trade thesis. When the crowd starts talking about a name and options are still cheap, that is the window before the market wakes up. Now, here's where this gets educational, because BZAI is a textbook case of something every retail trader needs to understand. Let me walk you through what is actually happening at this company. 3 weeks ago, Blaze Holdings did something called an equity offering. They issued $35 million worth of new stock shares of BZAI and sold them into the market. For a company this small, that is a huge deal. Think of it this way. Imagine you and 9 friends each own 1 slice of a 10-slice pizza. Management walks in and says, We're cutting the pizza into 15 slices now and selling the new 5 slices to strangers. Your slice just got smaller. You still own one piece, but your piece is now worth less of the whole pie. That is dilution. That is what happened to every BZAI holder on May 4th. Now, here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. While the company was diluting existing shareholders, the insiders, meaning the executives and board members who run the company, are selling their own shares. $581,000 worth in the last 30 days. Now, stop and think about what that means. The people with the most information about this company, the people who see the financials before anyone else, the people who know what the next earnings call is going to say, those people are reducing their stake in the company. At the same time, the company is asking the public market for more money, for more shares. That is the signal underneath the signal. Whenever you see insiders selling stacked next to a capital raise, the question to ask is simple. If the people running this company believe the stock was about to recover, why are they selling? Why are they not buying more at $1.30? So here's the picture. The chart looks like a recovery setup. The social chatter is loud and bullish. The system is firing on 11 different signals, but the people inside the building are walking out the door with cash. That's the conflict. The BuzzPulse system is making a probability argument. It says, in the past, when buzz spikes after a beaten down stock finds a bottom, the stock has bounced more often than not. That's the math, and the math is real. But the math does not know about the insider selling. The math does not know about the fact that the management chose dilution as their funding strategy. The math sees buzz and short interest and an oversold chart, and it says, this looks like it might be a squeeze setup. This is the moment when you have to decide that what kind of a trader you want to be. If you trust pure pattern matching, the system has a setup. If you also weigh management selling behavior, you have a serious red flag. Now, I'm going to do something specific here, and I want you to watch how this plays out. I'm going to trust the convergence math on this one. 11 signals is the highest reading the system has ever produced. If I dismiss it because I don't like the insider activity, then I'm not running the system in public. I'm just running on my own gut. And my gut is not what I'm here to test. So we're going to log it. BZAI, signal price, $1.31. A signal date, Monday, May 18th. We're going to check the verdict Wednesday morning. And if the system is right, it earned a point. If the insider selling was the bigger tell, the system loses a point, and you learn something more valuable than a winning trade. You learn what a false signal looks like in real time. That's the deal on this show. The proof goes on the table either way. The watch list tells you where to look, and the greed list tells you where the trap is. Now, on today's greed list, XRPC, CXAI, XRPI all showed elevated Z-scores with no catalyst attached. The system is finding signal in the tape where narrative quality is low. Names to monitor, not names to chase. The VIX is at 19, up 3.3% over 5 days. No panic, but pay attention. The regime is normal. No CPI, no FOMC, no job reports this week. What we have is the signal itself and the market's willingness or unwillingness to follow it. This show's educational only, not investment advice. Please do your own research. I'm Ken Carpenter. This is Invest AI Savvy, and that's the way it is.